We are back on this 2020 Seadoo GTI build. We have done a whole lot of work to this thing. This thing looks completely different. First off, we fixed all the rear damage in the back. Next, we changed the whole exterior look along with replacing the seat, or making a custom seat actually. We even painted it and completely redesigned the whole thing with a bunch of different vinyls. And a lot of people love how it turned out. But it's not complete yet. There's a couple little things we need to do to it. We need to fix up some of these little pieces that it's missing. I already ordered some of that stuff. Along with that, we need to figure out what's going on with the impeller, because it's making a little bit of noise and it's not going to full speed, so we need to figure that out. Along with all that, I also want to add a new radio stereo system with some speakers on the sides. I've seen a lot of different kinds of designs. Some people like to drill holes on the side of their ski and put the speakers in there. I don't want to do that. That seems very permanent and a way for wire to creep inside and fill up the hole. So I don't want to do that. I want to make it look a little bit more OEM. And instead of spending the $1,000 on an OEM system, we're going to build our own that's a little bit more DIY friendly and cost effective. So that is what's up first. We are in the home stretch of finishing this thing up and calling it complete. So let's go ahead and start with the speaker system, then we can move on to the other things such as the impeller and wear ring and all that other stuff. Let's knock out that first. Speaker system is installed and it looks really good, better than I expected. It is in a good spot where your foot's not gonna hit it all the time. There's room for your foot underneath it a little bit if you have small feet. It looks pretty OEM and definitely about a quarter of the price of an OEM, less than a quarter of a price. All this costs right around $200. That includes the speaker surround, the speakers, and the Bluetooth audio system. All that right around $200. All of this is waterproof, including the audio system. It comes with a volume control and an aux port. So if you didn't want to use Bluetooth, you can plug in an aux right in here. Put your phone or whatever into this watertight container and you're good to go. It wasn't very hard to install. This all took around 2 or 3 hours, and that was including finding a wire to plug into. Luckily, this model has an extra plug up here that has a ground and a positive wire that turns on when you turn the actual ski on. So I just hot wired it into that. It all works great. These speakers are on the cheaper end, so it's not really the best quality, but you're on a ski where it's kind of loud, so it's not really super important. I just want some music playing. Along with the speaker system, I also installed new hand grips right here. They're actually palm grips, so you can rest your palm on them. The old ones were pretty rough. Definitely got some use out of them. Up next, we need to start digging into this jet pump. It's making some weird noises when it starts, and I looked in there. It's hard to see on camera, but it looks like there's a wire stuck in there. Something's stuck in there. It still moves, so it's not causing it to get bound up or whatever, but there's something in there, and we need to take it apart to get it out. And while we're in there, I'm gonna go ahead and replace the wear ring, check the impeller, make sure it's in okay condition. Impellers are kind of expensive, so I'm hoping to not have to replace that. But let's go ahead and start taking this thing apart. I don't know how to take it apart with this electronic reverse thing, so we'll figure it out. got the whole jet pump unit removed, and it looks a little rough, so we went ahead and scuffed it up and repainted it to make it look a little bit better. It still works and everything as it should, just wanted to make it look a little bit cleaner. I'm wishing I cleaned up the IBR reverse forward system too. I didn't paint it because I didn't want to remove the stickers because they kind of look important, but the stickers are also in rough shape, so I might end up go ahead and repainting all that, sanding it down, repainting all that. Once we got the jet pump unit out, we found what was making that clanging, rattling noise, and that is a big ball of wire. I don't know how you get that in the ocean or in the lake or whatever, but it's definitely tore up some stuff. As you can see by the wear ring, it is in rough shape, definitely needed replaced. I don't think this is OEM. I don't know if orange is the stock color, so I'm assuming it was replaced before, but not really sure. Either way, we went ahead and replaced it. I'm curious to see if replacing that wear ring is going to gain a little bit more speed. We were at 33 miles on a windy, rough day. I believe the actual top speed on these things are around 45 miles an hour, so curious to see how close we get to that. If we don't get to that, then we might have to do some other stuff to it. I don't know what else we would have to do to get that speed, but we'll see. Last thing I want to build for this is a cooler rack system. Now, the newer Seadoos come with this link system right here that you can lift up and attach coolers to. Seadoo sells these coolers for around $300 or $400. I don't know exactly, I just know they're expensive, but they basically link right into your Seadoo, and just like that. You pretty much just attach it to your Seadoo with these little clips right here, and it holds on for the whole day. Now, I don't want to spend that kind of money on a cooler just specifically for a Seadoo, so I'm going to build a rack system where I can use any kind of other cooler I have, someone else's cooler they may have, and also have some rod holders on the back for if I want to go fishing, which I never fish, but but if I wanted to, I'd like to have somewhere I could put my fishing rods. Some of my friends fish, maybe they could use that too. Now, I could build this all from scratch, but I want to make it more DIY friendly for you guys in case this is something that you want to build for your Seadoo. So I'm going to link everything I use in the description. Hopefully I can make this as easy as possible. I might have to do a little bit of aluminum welding because the rack is going to be made out of aluminum, but we are going to try to avoid that as much as we can. I wish I could explain better what my plan is, but I don't really have a plan just yet. So we're going to go ahead and start digging into this and figuring it out as we go along, and I'll explain it a little bit better after it's done, hopefully. We'll see. Stay tuned. This looks pretty cool, doesn't it? And it works about as well as you expect. You know, it's pretty in there. I do need a bigger cooler. This is the biggest small cooler I have. I have bigger coolers than this, but obviously too big for it. So I need to find a cooler that will fit in here snugly. That way I don't have to put a strap on it or anything. But it looks pretty good and it works perfect. Snaps right in. So I bought the cage on Amazon along with the rod holders and the clips right here, or the latching mechanism. The only thing you have to make yourself was this little bracket right here to connect the cage and the latching mechanism together. I used some angle aluminum. I just bought it from a local hardware store and it fits right up. I believe this is 2-inch wide. So you're just gonna cut it the size, the same length as the base of this, put some holes in it for the cage and some holes in it to hold the latch in there, and you're good. It was actually very simple. I didn't use anything else or build anything else with it. This, I just mounted up to the cage itself. I continued to use the legs underneath to sturdy it a little bit more. And I also cut off this hook back here because it was pretty close to the seat, and cleaned it all up. Make sure there's no sharp edges on it. So this thing is completely done. I'm gonna be taking it out now a lot, testing it out. There's a couple little pieces I need. I need the mirror for this, a couple extra little plastic pieces, and I also still want new molding on the side. I just can't find it and no one has it in stock. I'll eventually get those, but those are all simple things I can throw on any time. It's not something that it needs right now. So we're pretty much ready to go. So with that being said, let's go ahead and hook it up to the truck and take it down to the lake. Let's test it out. What's so nice about having a jet ski is it's just easy to put it in the water. You don't have to hook up your big pontoon boat and find a ramp that will be able to fit that big pontoon boat. You can put it in by yourself, take it out by yourself. It's just nice and convenient. And what's nice about this is altogether it was probably less than $3,500 for a 2020 Seadoo. Now it's not the top model, it's more of the lower base model, but at the same time I shouldn't have to worry about this thing breaking down anytime soon. And it starts up right away every single time. Speaker system worked amazing. It was very nice having some music out there while I was riding around. The rack, there's nothing on it, but it held up pretty good. It wasn't shaking or anything, didn't make any noise, so all good there. We're still not getting the top speed though, and I don't know why. It was a little rough out there, but not as rough as the first time, and we were still getting around the same miles per hour, maybe a couple extra. Since replacing that wear ring, we got a little bit more, but still not where it should be. It might be because it has a lot of hours, you know, 800 hours. It wears the motor pretty quick, so maybe that has to do with it. Not really sure. It still could be that training key, don't really know. And it's expensive to get a new one, so I don't really know if I want to do that just yet. I want to make sure that's exactly the problem before I go spend that money on a new key. But that's a wrap on this build. We are pretty much done. If anything happens to it, I'm going to post it on my Instagram. I'll keep it updated on there, you know, when I take it out. If anything happens to it, I'll update you guys there. But for right now, it's running great and doesn't seem to have any issues, so hopefully it stays like that. So you can follow me on Instagram for that. Also TikTok and Facebook, I post on there occasionally. You guys can check that out too if you want to. If not, I will catch you guys on the next episode. You may notice there's not another jet ski on this trailer, and that's because it is in the garage getting a new motor put in it. Hopefully it all works out. There's a lot of hiccups going on with that build. Just so many missing parts. I think it's a pretty interesting build if you guys want to check that out. I posted a video about a month ago on that build. It's a mystery buy. Didn't know what the problem was, and we figured out pretty quickly what the problem actually was. So you guys can check that out. More videos on that coming soon. As for this thing is completely done. I love it. Love how it turned out. Let me know in the comments what you guys think, and I will catch you guys on the next episode. Bye.